So, again, if you want in on the conversation, folks, 478-344-6623 is that number to call in. We can get to your Alumni Hall question of the day, of course, presented by Alumni Hall, the greatest of all apparel shops when it comes to all of your Razorback apparel needs. They got everything from Johnny O to Tommy Bahama to Southern Tide. They have everything right there in store at 3417 North College Avenue. You can shop them there. So a lot of you are going to be coming in for that LSU game. Might be a little chillier there by the time it gets to that night time. So you may get you some warm wear. Alumni Hall will get you all taken care of. Or you can shop them online at alumnihall.com/Arkansas-Razorbacks. And you can have it shipped directly to your door. It's Alumni Hall, the ultimate Razorback shopping experience. And it's a very simple one today. But I put it into multiple choice, which I know everyone gets pissy about if I don't give them the choices that they want, which is fine. But they said the pretty good question is, how many more SEC games does Arkansas win this season? And the options I give, because I can only do 4, was 0-1, 2, 3, or 4-5. So put it up there. As of right now, I'm sure you guys looked at it, but what do you think is leading the way as far as percentages go for this?
I did not look at it, but I think the renewed optimism, I'll go 3.
Okay.
That's my guess to what's leading the way as well.
Yeah,
that's
my answer is
but it's my guess as to what's leading the way.
Oh, well, you guys apparently underestimated Razorback fans. 2 is leading the way.
Really?
With 48%.
Them.
They're overestimated. Yeah, whatever. Over-unders. We don't talk about those. 48% has 2%, and 3 wins has it at 31%.
Okay.
And then 4-5 wins at 16.5%. And then 0-1, 4.5%. So,
all right,
2 wins is kind of what Razorback fans are feeling right now for the rest of the way, which of course would put them at 4-4 in SEC play, matching their best SEC record under Sam Pittman from 2021, and would theoretically also put them at 8-4 or 7-5, 7-5 in the season. So, I was actually surprised too. I thought that people would be flooding in the 3 to 4 to 5 range, but.
It's interesting. I mean, if you go, I put a story up. I was just up hanging out with my dog late last night, and I was like, you know what? I wonder what these bowl projections look like for Arkansas. So I wound up writing a story about it. But I was looking at that ESPN FPI, and it was pretty interesting. I mean, they project Arkansas to go 7-5, so kind of the same idea that people have in the poll here. Gave them a 92.4% chance to reach bowl eligibility. Those are pretty good odds. I don't know if you guys do math. That's not bad. For what it's worth, and I love this, they gave Arkansas a 4.1% chance to make the college football playoff. What do you guys think about that? 4.1%. That's 4%? That's not bad.
Dude, that's a lot. That's higher than we gave them yesterday.
It's significantly higher than their chances to make the SEC title game.
Which makes sense, actually.
Yeah, it does. It's pretty cool, man. I don't know if you guys have looked at any of the bowl projections, but there's some pretty interesting stuff in there. Gasparilla Bowl down in Tampa against Virginia Tech. I don't know.
No longer the Outback Bowl, eh?
Yeah, worse places to go. There's a lot of Liberty Bowl options in there for whatever, but one of them from an ESPN writer has Arkansas facing Gus Malzahn, KJ Jefferson, UCF in the Liberty Bowl. That I would go to.
Yeah.
That I would go to. No,
y'all ready to be annoyed?
Yeah.
Texas A&M right now is plus 115 to make the SEC title game.
That is annoying.
Texas is minus 250, and Texas A&M is plus 115, and that's the second best odds. That is technically currently projected to be the SEC title game. Imagine if Arkansas had just beaten A&M, which they probably should have done. Imagine what all these numbers would look like. They'd probably have like a 10 to 15% chance to make the playoff.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And how horrible would that be if the SEC title game was just a rematch of the week before of Texas and Texas A&M?
Right.
That is going to be a little bit tough if both teams have it clinched by then. But I haven't looked at A&M's schedule. I'm guessing they don't play anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I know they play Texas, obviously, but there's always those random games that could end up being, getting them a little bit. But I mean, for crying out loud, who knows in the SEC right now? It's pretty up in the air, but. Yeah, that's wild. So
when Arkansas played A&M, I didn't think hey, this is a juggernaut that is like a potential playoff team. I didn't think that Arkansas's playoff hopes rested on that game, but apparently
they look like a different group with that quarterback back in there, which I didn't know that I necessarily expected that, but my goodness, man, Wigman was slinging it.
Yeah,
I mean,
he was.
even A&M folks thought that it was like a thing at first. Like I mean, by this point, with the way that they had played under Reed and how bad Wegman was against Notre Dame, maybe it turns out he was just hurt against Notre Dame. I think that's in hindsight, that's probably what happened.
Maybe so. Yeah, John, you'll be happy to know that there is a Vegas Bowl projection for Arkansas right now. And it's from ESPN. So
okay,
there you go.
Who they have them playing?
Washington State.
Oh, that would be weird. That'd be a weird bowl game. A lot of weird people
down in Vegas.
Yeah, that'd be strange. But I take it.
The final team to play a Pac-12 opponent.
Right.
That's right. That's right. Be the last one standing there. But we can agree that in order to make the playoff, it has to be like I just don't think they can do it 9-3. I really don't think they can. I think 10. I think they have to win out to get into the playoff.
I think they could do it with 9-3 if they now. Here's the thing: they would have to beat Texas. Like
they beat Texas and Ole Miss.
Yeah, like if you split the Texas game, the Texas and Ole Miss game, say
you lose at Missouri or something.
Yeah, so like you beat Texas, beat Missouri, beat LSU, and you're 9-3 with like some good wins there. I would have to really my brain would have, or maybe you'd have to beat Ole Miss because I guess Ole Miss would be in contention with you.
But see, my only argument to that would be that, if you get to the point of at the end of the year, it's always like, what did you do for me lately? And I feel like they almost have to beat Missouri. Because
they would have to beat Missouri for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking from a standpoint of a road game, you might not get dinged as much.
Yeah.
But it also depends on whether Missouri is actually good at the end of the year or not.
Yeah.
Which is very suspect.
They might be 6-5 or something going into that game. And then, you got to get it. So
in the bye week fun, we're here talking about Arkansas's path to the playoff and how you can do it.
Hey, the analytics say there's a chance. We got to talk about it.
Yeah. It's not just us blowing smoke. There's analytics, there's numbers that are backing up these claims.
I hate to keep bringing it up, but that Oklahoma State game, good Lord, dude.
Brutal.
These conversations would be so much more fun if they just hadn't lost to a bad team.
I know. And that's what is going to be the most frustrating thing that hopefully we don't look upon in the past. Like, say if they won't go 9-3, but they just barely missed the playoff for freaking Oklahoma State game, man. Because they have it to where for the playoff, the top 4 teams get a bye, and then the next 4 teams get to host a playoff game on their campus, correct? And then they play the last 4.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'll take a playoff game no matter how it comes, but if they go 10-2 and they found a way to host a playoff game in Fayetteville, Arkansas, dude, man, like I don't there'd just be a whole nother element to it, whole nother level of insanity. Just like we all thought, one of the first home playoff games in college football history would happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas. And they'd be ones that hosted it. So
hopefully they repaint the end zones before that happens. So.
Yeah, I don't think you can rush the field in playoff games. Could you? Would that be extra not allowed?
Yeah, I don't know. I think someone's going to do it.
Yeah, I bet they do.
Because I don't think
Arkansas can do it since they've already used theirs for the year, but someone will definitely rush the field in a playoff game at some point.
Because it's not technically like it is with college basketball, college baseball, where it's an NCAA event. It's college football playoff, which is completely separate. So I don't know if they have do the college football playoff people come in and run the ceremonies and stuff? I guess that's how it works.
Maybe they don't find you as bad.
Yeah, maybe they don't find you. And but what about the ceremony in the middle of the field? I don't know how that's going to go, but it'll be fun. Well, let's just make that manifest.
Whenever Arkansas hosts, we'll figure it out then.
Yeah. I'd be throwing up the whole week leading up to that, like a playoff game happening. So.